if it goes through, amended or unamended, that's the core issue. I think potentially the Rwanda plan can work, but it depends on one crucial factor, deporting a critical mass of people. It depends on numbers. So the purpose of the Rwanda plan is to make it economically irrational to pay 4,000 euros or whatever it is to a criminal to cross the English Channel. Because if you end up in Rwanda, then obviously, given the differences in terms of GDP per capita between Europe and Rwanda, then obviously that's not a good use of money. Has it worked in the past? Well, Australia obviously had a similar scheme with the island of Nauru. Admittedly, there were pushback policies that took place at the same time, but the numbers went from the tens of thousands to zero within the space of a few years. Number of deaths in the ocean, zero. It worked. I mean, and it's quite funny listening to people speak here, because the exact arguments that it's expensive, it won't work, it's impractical, those arguments were made in Australia by the opposition party. The exact same arguments. And there was a big political...
Very different set of circumstances in Australia, though, isn't it? It's a very different set of circumstances.
Well,
the solution they chose is very different from the solution chosen here.
I mean, we couldn't have a pushback policy on the English Channel.
It was contemplated, I think, but then
the jet skis, the armoured jet skis, yes. I mean, no, you couldn't have that in the English Channel because, firstly, they're not boats and they're dinghies and they'll capsize. And
pushing people back to where they came from in the sea seems to me to be very different from taking people who've arrived here and deporting them, to use your language, deporting them across the world to Africa. But different. But compare the two.
But the point I'm referring to is the outsourcing policy. That is similar to what we have with Rwanda. That did work, and the opposition party were against it. But when they looked at the numbers, you can't argue with the statistics. There was a bipartisan consensus. The only party that is against this policy now is the Green Party.